For staying with Standpoint on TVC News. Well, Nigeria's political map is hitting once again or shifting once again and fast. A growing wave of defections is sweeping across the country as politicians from opposition parties, particularly the People's Democratic Party, appear to be gravitating towards the ruling APC. From the North Central to the South South, elected officials are aligning with President Bola Tinubu's administration, many citing the need for what they call strategic cooperation and development opportunities. In Akwa Ibom State, Governor Mo, elected under the PDP, is rumored to be considering switching to the APC. While nothing official has been announced, his recent engagements in Abuja and visible ties with the APC leaders have sparked major speculation. And analysts say this trend mirrors Nigeria's political playbook. When the center holds power, many seek proximity to it. But critics warn this could weaken democracy and erase viable opposition. With 2027 still years away, one thing is clear: the realignment has already begun. The National Publicity Secretary of the Coalition of United Political Parties, Mark Adebayo, joins me now to speak on this. We thank you very much for joining us on Standpoint. Let's start first off with your reaction to the endorsement of the president by the APC bigwigs during the week.
Well, thank you so much. Well, of course, that endorsement is not unexpected, actually, because it's their political party, it's their internal affairs. The president, emerged on the platform of the APC. You do not expect them not to endorse the president. You do not expect them to begin to say they are endorsing or supporting another candidate. So that is something that is taken for granted. It will happen. The timing might not be, it might not be okay with the socio-political environment of the country now, but it's their party, it's their internal party affairs, and that's what, like the last speaker said, the president has the first option of refusal. So, and it's a game of political survival for some of them who attended that meeting, that endorsement meeting. It's a game of survival. Everybody wants to be seen to be, as a party member, to be a party loyalist and supporting the president who is a member of their party. It is expected. That is it. So what you don't expect to happen was for you to see some opposition figures they are also endorsing the president. So that is coming from the APC. It is expected. That's a non-issue, actually. It's a non-issue. And if they believe that that is what is next in the face of a damning economic and dire economic situation, if they believe that is what is next for them in their party, well, that is their business. Nobody should query them for that. I mean, that one is neither here nor there. That's just it. It's neither here nor there.
And how would you also react to the wave of defections that we have seen, even though, as you have said, the timing may be an issue in some quarters, but we have really been hearing talks, some groups planning coalition, and other groups, more personalities defecting to the ruling party. What's COP's reaction to these moves?
Yeah, you see, political mobility from one party to the other is a constitutionally guaranteed right of every individual. But you know that a lot of people are not doing anything of principles nowadays in this country. People just can wake up overnight and say, look, I want to go and join the ruling party. The major motivation behind all of this, number one, is stomach infrastructure. Number two is political survival. And if you have the interest of the people at heart, people can defect to wherever they want to defect to. It really doesn't matter. And at the end of the day, it is the Nigerian people who will decide who will become the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The other man was talking about structures. Peter Obi did not have any structures anywhere, didn't have governor, didn't have senator, didn't have anything. When he was able to garner a whopping 6 million votes in the 2023 election. So it's not the real structures are the people. The real voters are the people. The people that will endorse you, that you will see that you have received a real endorsement, a credible endorsement, and the Nigerian people themselves. So the biggest coalition, and then all these coalitions that you are talking about, is also part of the preparations towards the next election, because if you don't prepare, you are preparing to fail. If you don't prepare, you are preparing to fail. So the various political power plays have to come together and see how, because political party and political politicking is about power. It's about taking over power. It's not a Tea Party thing. It's something that's a very, very serious one. Now, you see, the APC and the president believe that, they have been winning election and will continue to win. You see, that's an incident in the Bible. Judges chapter 16, verse 20. Samson, the most powerful man in the world. One day, they said, the Philistines have come. He said, I will rise up again and go and fight and go and win the way I've been winning. He didn't know that God had left him. He didn't know that the power had left him. So he couldn't win anymore. So there is a surprise coming for the APC in 2027. There is a surprise coming for the president in 2027, because what will determine the next elections will be the policy, the atrocious economic policies of the president, the insecurity in the land. Now, they came to Abuja and endorsing the president when the governor, an APC governor in Borno State, came out shouting last week, say, Mr. President, the federal government, come and rescue us. Boko Haram and ISWAP are moving on us. Don't let them take over our state. But they didn't respond to that. They came to endorse the president. The Nigerians are watching. The voters are watching. It's not about opposition criticism. It's about the reality on ground. Now, one thing, let's give it to the president. Let's give it to the president. One thing that the president knows how to do, he knows how to win election. By hook or crook, he knows how to win election. The other thing he doesn't know how to do is how to come.
I would ask, Mr. Adebayo, that you mind your language. You just made a statement now that I ask that you reflect on it and be mindful of what you churn out. This is a very important platform, and we urge that you exercise some form of restraint. When talking about matters as sensitive as this.
Well, what I have said is that the president knows how to win elections. And, in any election that he has participated, go and check his history. He has won all the elections he has participated in up to this moment. But 2027, the Nigerian people are going to vote for truth. They are going to vote for justice. They are going to vote for good governance. The president knows how to win elections. That is it. That is why the opposition must up their game and see how even when Ronaldo plays in the match, they are still beating. Even when Messi plays in the match, they are still beating. When the opponent marshals their plan very well, when they are able to put their houses in order, when they are able to deliver message to the Nigerian people, they will still win the election. I mean it, and I'm saying it seriously, that you see what will win election in 2027 will be the will of the people, the wish of the people, the determination of the people, and people will vote for justice, they will vote for employment, they will vote for security, they will vote for education and health, all of which this government has failed to provide to the Nigerian people. All right,
so how would you... Right. It's good that you also listened, you participated somewhat. You listened to the last speaker. And the last speaker has spoken about, some of the some of the policies that have stood out in the Tinubu administration so far. How would you rate the innovation of the student loan policy? We've seen Nelfon come out this week with, bringing out figures of the hundreds of thousands of Nigerian students who have benefited from this policy, as well as the billions that have gotten from corrupt politicians and then disbursed to students in need. Well, how would you assess that?
We have seen the advertisement of those policies. We just want to hear from the Nigerian students themselves who have benefited from this scholarship scheme. The thing is that you do not expect anybody who is a member of the APC to come out and criticize the policies of the government. That would be amiss. The thing is that what Nigerians know that have been the outcome of the policies of the president is more insecurity, greater hunger, 36% inflation rate, and the fact that the dropout of school children have risen from 20 million to about 30 million. Those are the outcomes of the policies of the president. I mean, we shouldn't try to paper over cracks. We should just say it as it is, So, but you don't expect if a thief will come out and praise himself and give excuses. If they catch up one armed robber today, we give you, say, it's because my father died, I didn't go to school, and rest of that. The issue is that you cannot expect an APC person to come and criticize the government and say that what the government is doing is bad. So But the Nigerian people know the truth. If the president and his people are saying the president is doing very well, fine. But the Nigerian people will decide whether he has done well or not. Let's leave that judgment, that analysis, that assessment, that scorecard. Let's leave that to the Nigerian people. And we all know, take your camera and go to the streets of Nigeria today. Hear what people will say. Go and do a force properly and see what Nigerians will say in the markets, in the schools, in the hospitals, and co. When the government is doing well, it doesn't need advertisement, it doesn't need adulation, it doesn't need rented people to come and begin to clap for it. The Nigerian people are the ones who will decide and determine that, oh, the president has done well or has not done well. And that endorsement in a free, fair, and credible election in 2027, if we are able to have that, it will be very difficult for the president to return for a second time. I mean, that's just it. The Nigerian people will speak loud and clear. And hopefully, the electoral reforms will carry the day into. And the opposition just need to, it just need to sit up and work out because, like the president said when he was governor, power is not given a la carte. And that's a fact. Nobody can sit in his room, in his bedroom, thinking that he will beat Tinubu in an election. Nobody will sit in his village and be talking rubbish on social media and think he will beat Tinubu in an election. Tinubu is a practical politician. But like him or not, this man, when he wants to do something, he throws everything to it. So the opposition better put their house in order for us to be able, and I like the fact that we are putting our houses in order already.
Now, how? Let's talk about that, because the news that we are getting now, the news that we are seeing now, governors are defected. We are seeing individuals, we are seeing lawmakers defect. Let's talk about what steps the opposition, as you say it now, as you call it, what steps is the opposition doing to put their house in order?
That's why you are seeing conversation. If there is a crisis in the family, I will see the family members coming together to talk about it. Communication is very important. You can see across board, across party lines, people are meeting, people are talking and discussing coalitions. They are talking about coming together to form a formidable front towards going to 2027. That's why you are seeing all those conversations. You will see all those things will now coalesce into a formidable opposition to stand together to contest the election and against the president in 2027. I can assure you, by the time all these things come together, it will be so strong, it will be like a tsunami that nobody will be able to withstand. And the opposition will do well in 2027, far more better than what we did in 2023. And then we are going to win this election. I will tell you, whoever the opposition supports as the opposition candidate for 2027, we are going to win that election. The policies of this government, we campaign against them. The promises of the opposition, we campaign for us, and we are going to win. We are going to win. It's not rocket science. Everybody knows the position of the economy, the position of the security. But one thing, I'm not deceiving myself. I know that if we don't work hard enough, if we don't work hard enough, if we don't cooperate and collaborate enough, it might be extremely difficult. But we will do it. We will achieve internal cohesion. We will achieve internal collaboration to be able to do what we need to do. Because at the end of the day, governors, senators, House of Reps members, they're defecting to the ruling party won't be the determinant of what will happen in 2027. It will be how, number one, how the opposition organizes itself. Number two, the messaging, the kind of message we carry to the Nigerian people. Number three will be that we have a level playing ground in terms of free, fair, credible election in 2027. With that, in 2027, nobody is going to win. It's going to be the Nigerian people that are going to win. It will be the Nigerian masses that are going to win. But it will be the market women and the artisans who are going to win in 2027. The Nigerian people that are going to win in 2027.
Right. So it's less than 2 years, from now, when Nigerians will head to the polls again to vote for another leader. But how are things looking like for you now in terms of structure for you to woo Nigerians as to your own choice of candidates? Are you looking at the current existing structures, any of the current existing political structures which of course non-APC, or are you looking at an outright new structure?
Well, you see, now, when people talk about structure, they make it look as if structure is something that is so esoteric that no other person can achieve. Structure about what? Structure is about the people. Structure is about the voters. Take a party, for instance, like maybe SDP or ADC, for instance. that has chairmen in all the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT, has chairmen in 774 local governments of the Federation, has structures in all the over 8,000 wards of this country. What else do you want? What needs to happen is that for those structures to be probably more effective than they have been. And take it or leave it, when all the coalition political parties will come together and add strength to strength, power to power, structure to structure, people to people, you will see that they will be so humongous that it will be very difficult for anybody to defeat the coalition. That is one thing I'm very sure about. It will be extremely difficult because, you know, the people are the real structures. The voters are the real structures. You can have political structures in terms of your politicians in your party, but the real structures are the people, are the Nigerian people who know and understand what is happening in the country, in the area of economy, in the area of health, in the area of security or insecurity, as the case may be. The people, when you have people behind you, what structures? We are talking about structures. What structures did Peter Obi have in 2023? Look at the votes he got. How many votes did the president, the incumbent, use to beat him? Imagine now that he's now having structures in all the nooks and crannies of this country. Because since the last election, some of the presidential candidates, including Adebayo Adewale of the SDP, these people have not gone to sleep. They are moving from here to here from day one after the election. Now, everybody sat down and look at, oh, where did we go wrong? Where did we go wrong? And they are building up on that. And they are doing that. They are not sleeping. So structures are everywhere now. It is the president and the APC do not have monopoly of structures. Political parties, opposition political parties have structures in every nook and cranny of this country. And it will now be the candidates that will emerge from the coalition talks or so other candidates that will come out and be strong enough to confront the armada of the APC. That's it. So the structures are there. It's not about structure. The structures are there. No political party doesn't have. There are politically exposed persons who also have structures. Even without their party, there are structures in everywhere in this country. So when they carry that into a political party, it strengthens the party, it consolidates their chances of winning the election in 2027.
All right, it's a fine place to leave our conversation. Mr. Mark Adebayo, we thank you very much for your contributions on Standpoint today. We'll see how things pan out eventually. Many thanks again.